Arden. All right, so our bell ringer is today is National Cheddar Fries Day. What else do you guys like to put on top of your fries? I've had a lot of pretty good suggestions from students today, or we've had some discussions. Hi, America. We've talked about carne asada fries, which are amazing. In-N-Out animal fries came into play. I will. We actually had a little disagreement going in one class between McDonald's fries and In-N-Out fries. Another student, sweet potato fries are amazing. Yes. Another student reminded me of barbecue fries. Like in Texas, they're really big on like brisket and your potatoes and on your fries. And I was like, oh, yes, of course. Hi, Makai. What about you guys? Like Brett, you said you like sweet potato fries just by themselves. And then did the rest of you guys carne? Yes, right? I have not had carne asada fries in a while. I was trying to be really good, but I think that's going to have to happen this weekend after all these discussions about fries today. And then anybody else? I mean, do I have purists in here who are like, I just like my fries by themselves? Because I did have some of those. Like, they were like, I just like my fries with ketchup. So are there any, like, French fry purists in here? Hello, Sabrina. Oh, okay. So do you actually make the carne asada or do you buy the carne asada, America? Because I'm going to be honest, the idea of just going somewhere and having them do it all for me so I don't have to do all the work is great. But if there's a way to make them at home that doesn't involve a ton of work, I'm all for that. Oh, you and your mom make the carne? Darn it. Well, wait, I might need oh, garlic parmesan fries. That sounds amazing. I've had truffle garlic fries. Sorry, excuse me. Those are really good. Okay, see, now I may have to do that. America, but I think I might need a recipe here for the carne. And you might need to send me one here. Because I don't have one. And I don't think I've ever done garlic Parmesan fries. I've done garlic Parmesan like wings. But I mean, I love that flavor. So that just sounds amazing on French fries. Thank you, America. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to pipe in? Arden? What about you or Will? Makai? Or is it just going to be, you know, me, America, and Sabrina talking about fries? You just go with ketchup. So are you one of my purists, Makai? You're like French fries with ketchup, and that's all I like. Yeah? Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And Brett, I know he says he's all about the sweet potato fries. Do you eat anything with your sweet potato fries, or do you just like sweet potato fries and they're fine by themselves? Brett, I'm sorry. Should have mentioned that, right? Oh, just sweet potato fries, a little salt on them, and you're good? You don't dip them in anything? Hi, Chris. We're talking about French fries and how you like to eat your French fries. Okay, Brett. That sounds good. So I got a regular French fry purist, and I got a sweet potato fry purist. All right. You missed our discussion about the garlic Parmesan fries and the carne asada fries, Chris. Hi, Dagan. Anybody else want to throw something out there that we haven't talked about to put on French fries that you guys like to put on fries? Carne asada. Yeah, it's really good. And actually, like carne asada fries is really popular in the western half of the United States. If you go like the Texas side of Mexico, like that side area, then you tend to have more green sauce and more like brisket versus carne asada. Hi, Symphony. All right. So we're talking about fries, right? Well, we're also talking about budgeting, and we've been talking about like, the place you want to go get fries. Is that something that you guys that, do you think about the idea that, hey, I've got bills I got to pay, and as much as I want those carne asada fries, they're $12 for those fries. Do I have the $12 for that? Can I spend that money? Or is it something I need to think about? Or maybe like America says, her and her mom make the carne at home. Maybe you can make your own. You get enough so that instead of it costs you $12, but instead of only having one order, now you can have it for a few different days, a few different orders, right? So that's just those are the thought processes, especially as you guys are getting ready to graduate, right, and go out and do that whole adulting thing. You got to start thinking about those, right? Do any of you guys budget right now? Because we're talking about consequences of financial decision making, developing and evaluating a personal financial plan, which is like the budgeting, right? Locating, evaluating financial information from various sources. I'm going to show you guys some apps that are for budgets as well. So today we're gonna do a TED Ed talk, and it's Jordan Cox, and it's you're spending too much, and he talks about ways that you can spend less, or coupons, or not spend as much money, and then we'll talk about some popular budgeting apps, and then we'll move into the financial literacy course, the EverFi app for budgeting. Okay. So before I turn on and I go to the TED Ed, is there anything you guys have any questions about or anything before I move to the video? All right, give me just a moment.
Well done, ma'am. With Snapchat,
I'm going to mute myself.
What if I told you that you could get £35 worth of supermarket shopping for just £9? What if I told you that you could save hundreds or even thousands just by changing your mindset when it comes to spending? What if I told you that flying home could be cheaper than a one-way train? Believe it or not, all of those things are true. And if you're looking for a great money workout, then I'll be your trainer today. No breaks. And when it comes to money, and especially saving it, I've had many years of experience. You might have seen back in January of 2016, I flew home from Sheffield to Essex via Berlin because it was £8 cheaper than taking the train. And I even got £600 worth of supermarket shopping and only paid 4p for it. Now, when it comes to couponing, there are so many ways that you can save money. But I see so many people posting on Facebook saying, got no money left, or, oh well, that's me skint for the next month, hashtag broke, hashtag no money, hashtag lol. But why is running out of money in any context so comical? You wouldn't see, house been repossessed, hashtag lol. So why even get to the first stage? When taking a look at your spending and making small adjustments can make a massive difference. Now, there are ways that you can save money on all of your favorite brands that you buy every day. And how do you do that? By using coupons, loyalty schemes, mobile apps, and cashback sites. Despite what you might think, it doesn't have to be time-consuming, and you can save hundreds or even thousands. When it comes to couponing, if you go onto Pringles' Facebook page right now, you can print out a coupon for a free tin. Simple as that. Hashtag lol. There's also, if you go onto Optimal's website right now, they're giving away a free yogurt drink. All you have to do is print it out. There are hundreds of coupons for you to print out right now from online. And all you need to do is Google the word coupons. If you print out the right ones, you can get a £35 shop and only pay £9, including branding items such as Ariel, Finish, and Pringles. They're all big brands, and it's a fifth of the price. And even coupons, if you've got a £1 off coupon, you can use them on sales. So if you use a £1 off coupon on a product that's on sale at £1, it makes it free. There's no questions asked. Who here likes Starbucks? Well, guess what? You can save money on that. If you sign up to their loyalty app, every 15th coffee you buy will be free. That may not sound like much, but if you buy a Starbucks every single weekday that costs £4, that's £70 a year you're saving, just for signing up to an app. And speaking of apps, there are mobile apps on your phone now which save you money on your supermarket shopping. Apps like Shopitize and Checkout Smart will give you money back just by taking a photo of your receipt. There is so much on there that people buy weekly, and there's hundreds of pounds worth of free stuff. I'm pretty sure everyone here has bought online as well. Well, you know what I'm going to say. You can save money on that too. If you go onto cashback websites, such as Top Cashback and Quidco, they'll give you a percentage back of what you spend on pretty much anything online. Car insurance, hotels, clothes, you can all claim cashback on it. And it's only a minute more worth of work by clicking through their website. That is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to money saving. And there are so many other ways that you can save money. For example, if you're going out to a restaurant, have a look for restaurant vouchers. If you really love a brand, why not send them a birthday card? Sounds crazy, but I did that last week, and I got £20 worth of coupons for a 10p card. And if you're ever in the high street, why not have a little haggle? The worst they can do is say no, right? If you take on board those tips, I guarantee you'll see a positive difference to your budget by hundreds of pounds. But you have the ability to turn that into thousands. If you're not bothered by what brands you buy, you can turn it into thousands. And it's all by a simple change to your mindset. Just by not buying that one Starbucks coffee every single weekday that costs £4. That's £1,040 a year you'd be saving. Think about what that money could do for you. And I'm not saying you can't treat yourself, but you can always buy a 500-gram jar of coffee and fill up a travel mug. See? Simple change, huge savings. Let's have a look at a bigger picture of how changing the big spending of your non-essentials into easy, cheaper resolutions can seriously help your budget. This is Sarah. But Sarah is not very happy. Why? Although she earns £2,000 a month after tax, all of her expenditure means she's left with £30 each month. Not much to save with, right? But if you look at what she's spending, there are some things that are a bit questionable. And if you change those into easy, cheaper resolutions, she could save thousands. Taking the first example, buying a £4 Starbucks every single weekday, if you change that into buying a jar of coffee, that's only £4 a month. And you can see what that does to money left over each month. She has a takeaway every weekday. A bit much, but if she changed that to every Friday, that's only £20 a month. And you can see where this is going. Her money's adding up. She spends £150 on work lunch every single month. If she changes that and only has a packed lunch every day, it's a little bit more work, but she's saving £125 each month. And that adds on to her monthly total. It's gone from 30, now it's 326. just for 3 changes. And lastly, she spends £125 on shoes and clothes. As a man, I don't understand that. But if she changed that and only spent it on sales, so she spends £50 a month, you can see what that does to her monthly leftovers. She now has £401 left over each month from 4 simple changes. And if you put that back in, she's still getting everything that she used to have. She's still getting her coffee, her takeaway, her lunch, and her clothes. But now she's got £370 more just for those changes. And now she's happier. If you look at that with a before and after, before she was putting away £360 every month, now it's nearly £5,000, and that's without coupons. Simple changes to your budget can mean huge savings. I'm pretty sure every single person in here has something in their spending that they can cut back on. Me? I'm quite lazy, so I spend £3 on a return bus to the station every morning. But in this nice weather, I could cycle to the station and padlock my bike up. That's £15 a week, £800 if you did it all year. So when you leave here today, have a think about what you're spending your money on, where that money's going, and if you can make any small changes to give you that extra cash injection throughout the whole year. And when that money goes to good use, I'll be looking out for your Facebook posts. Just booked a holiday with the money I've saved. #lol. Thank you.
All right, so hopefully what you were taking from what he was saying is just think of it as mindful spending, right? How much are you spending without realizing that you're spending as much? Like instead of packing her lunch every day, she was buying lunch out every single day. And then she was doing what they said takeaway, which is like, eating out is what we would call it, right? So she was literally eating out for lunch and dinner at least 5 days a week. Being mindful, okay, maybe we just eat out on Friday, but I pack my lunch and I just bring food from home. I cook meals at home and I bring the leftovers for lunch. That just, it's a mindful or a mindset or a change in mindset is what he's talking about. Now, obviously, you don't get the 15th cup of coffee free at Starbucks anymore, but we do have a lot of things that we can put on our phones that can help us out. How many of you guys have like a Kroger or an Albertsons loyalty card? Do any of you guys have that, or your parents have that? Or Smith's, I should say. Smith's, Kroger, same thing. Albertsons. Absolutely. And so when you're in the grocery store and you see, hey, if I've got the loyalty card, I get a discount on these things. So not only is it having that so you get the money saved, but also being conscientious about what you're spending. And like he said, if you're not particular to brands, you can always find the least expensive brand. There are some things that I'm like, I don't care what brand it is. There are other things that I am like, I am not buying generic, like toilet paper. I will not buy generic toilet paper. But you figure out, right, what you're willing to spend on, what you're not. She's not, in the example that he gave, she wasn't giving up coffee. She just was giving up getting a cup of coffee from Starbucks every single day. Or maybe she doesn't give that up because that is something that she budgeted for, the 1 cup every single day, and that's like the splurge that you get. But it's a mindful decision. And I hope you got that from what he was talking about. When you're budgeting is knowing how much money you have coming in and then how much money you have going out. And being mindful about that, because we're not like governments. We can't just overspend every single time, because then we get overdraft fees in our accounts, we get things cut off, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So these are some popular budgeting apps. Pocket Guard, Mint, YNAB, Every Dollar, Good Budget, Honeydew, Personal Capital. I know for a fact that Mint is free. It is a free app that you can put on your phone. You can also use it on your computer. Most of these budgeting apps ask you to input your monthly bills, like who do you pay and how much do you normally pay. And then they link up with like your checking, your savings, credit cards, etc. And it lets you know every month, okay, this is how much you had coming in. This is how much you had going out. You had this goal. Where were you? Did you meet your goal? Did you exceed your goal? Were you not quite at your goal? They will tell you, I know for a fact, Mint will tell you, hey, you're overspending in this section. Or you can even use them within your own banking apps now too. I know Wells Fargo does it and USAA does it, where they will tell you, where is your money going? What is it doing? What is it looking like? And so keeping track of money coming in, where you're spending the money going out are really, really important. Do you guys budget? Does anybody in here like actually budget? Yes, no. Will you budget? Okay. How do you budget, Will? If you don't mind me asking. Like, is this one of my students was like, oh, I just think about what I need to do for the day. Another one of my students talked about they look at, what do they have to pay, right? Just putting money up for emergencies. Okay, so you decide how much you're going to take every check and put it aside. Okay. So do you guys, okay, if you have a vehicle, do you have payments on your vehicle? Is that something you're thinking about? I've got this much money has to go to paying my loan. Or if you don't have a vehicle loan, what about car insurance? Do you think about, I got to pay this much a month? And maybe you're not paying it now, but you're going to have to start paying it, right? And unfortunately, at your guys' age, it's expensive. Or gas, especially as we've been watching those fuel prices up and down, up and down, up and down. How, are you setting aside money for gas, knowing how you got to go? And are some of you guys thinking with gas prices, like, I don't need to go there. I don't want to spend the money on gas. And generally, yes, exactly. So you need to think about, when we're talking about budgets, needs versus wants. So for those of you, like our cell phones now, those are a need. Does it have to be the latest iPhone 2000? No. Or the latest Samsung 4000? No. But you still need to have a cell phone, right? So you've got to, they're expensive, plus your monthly plan. For a lot of us, you need to have a vehicle, and that carries insurance, maintenance, and fuel to get you to and from work, etc. So that's something that's a need. Food, and I don't mean McDonald's every single day, but you've got to be able to eat, right? If you're living at home, maybe you're not having to worry about paying for the roof over your head because your parents or guardians are providing that for you. But that's something that could be coming, right? Rent. And not just rent, but renter's insurance and utilities and all of that come with it. And then, like Chris was just saying, is you also need to set money aside in case of an emergency, right? In case something happens or your vehicle breaks down. I will tell you, my son, because I've always been on him about save, 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 his truck broke down. And it is a $2,500 fix from the mechanic because it's an older Ford. It's a 3500. It's a diesel. I mean, he's lucky it's only 2,500. But if I hadn't have been on him for years and years and years about saving, then he would be scrambling, right, to try and figure out how to pay for that. So these are all the thoughts. And, I want you guys to start thinking about this because adulthood is coming. For some of you, it might already be here. For some of you, it's on its way. And so the idea is hopefully you guys are going to start preparing for that. If you have not already done so, if you guys can open up your Clever and click on your EverFi app, and you're going to open the financial literacy course. It's the one that we started this week, right? So we're going to do the fourth module or fourth lesson in that course, which is called budgeting. And just like the other ones, you are going to click on the circle. You are going to complete the lesson, whether it be watching videos, answering questions, whatever. And at the end of the lesson, you have your 10-question assessment. You need to make at least 7 out of 10. That is passing. I've had a few kiddos try to turn in 5 out of 10, which is a 50%, which is a minimum F. That's not a passing. And guys, these are summative grades, which means these are 90% of your grades. You can take the assessments as many times as you need to get the highest grade possible. So I really strongly suggest you do that. If you don't get if you make a 60, try to make at least a 70 or an 80, okay? Once you have completed that assessment, you get your assessment results page. And that's what I need is a screenshot of your entire computer screen. I need the tab that says what the lesson is. So in this case, it would say budgeting. And then your assessment results, whatever percentage you made. So I know that's your assessment result for that lesson. And then your name in the upper right-hand corner, okay? So it would look like this. If you have like 20, 30 tabs open, you're going to have to shut some of them down before you screenshot because I need to be able to read your tab that it says budget, okay? Or employment and taxes, or employment simulations, or banking basics, or as we're coming up on consumer skills, credit and debt, financing higher education, insurance, right? I need to be able to see that this name of this lesson goes with this assessment and that your name is in there. So again, we've already done banking basics on Monday. We did employment and taxes and employment simulations yesterday on Wednesday, and today we are doing budgeting. So that is 4 summatives that we will have completed by the end of class today. Don't forget your Module 10 Lesson 1 course arc and notebook close on Friday as well. And then your quiz actually closes on the 28th. So right here on this screen, there are 4 summative grades that you can be using to bring up your grade. Because remember, I'm posting progress grades today. Like I have to have those done today. So if you know that you've been kind of slacking, now is the time to really take care of it, especially coming up on the end. And these EverFi assessments and assignments are the quickest, easiest way for you to get some good summative grades and help bring up your grades in class. Okay. Tomorrow, you're going to get the remind that says, hey, do your attendance assignment. Make sure you check your announcemaents. And by the way, small group meet is tomorrow morning from 10 to 11:45 a.m. MVLA, Rather SSG, all of that is going to be in our on the announcements. All of that's going to be on the remind text message. So you'll have multiple ways in order to get on there. Are there any questions so far? No questions at all. Okay, can somebody please repeat back to me what exactly it is that you guys are doing today? I want to make sure that you guys all understand what I'm asking you to do. EverFi budgeting, good. And if you have not completed the other EverFi assessments that we have done this week, you need to make sure you get those done, right? And then, of course, tomorrow, if you have not done so, I would say definitely go through the Module 10 Lesson 1 course arc and then do the Module 10 Lesson 1 quiz. Because remember, the course arcs are your test bank questions for your quizzes. So by doing the course arc, you're in essence reviewing for the quiz. Although, remember, in our live session pages, your reviews are always in there, any PowerPoints that we've been using, and of course, all of our videos that are labeled are in there as well, okay? All right, so you guys are gonna hang with me while you finish completing your budgeting EverFi assessment, well, the lesson and then the assessment. I've had some students who've had questions or needed a little help. That's why you're hanging out with me, so that if you get stuck somewhere, you guys can actually present your screen so we can see where you're stuck and we can move past it. A few kiddos were like, I can't get past this. And so I had one kid pop it up there. We went through it, and then like half of the other class went, oh my gosh, that's how we do it? Oh, I was so stuck there. So remember, just because you're feeling like I may be the only, like, oh, I'm only the one who's having problems with it, you're probably not. You're just being the brave one and putting it out there, okay? All right, so everybody is going to work on their EverFi Financial Literacy Budgeting, okay? If you have not done so, banking, tax simulation, employment and taxes also need to be done. 4 summatives here, 5th summative there, and then I am going to play the music, okay, while you guys are working, and then I'm just hanging out here with you, and I'm here to help you when you need it, okay? And then any last question?